fans, and welcome in to another edition of Off the Record, the official podcast of the Erie Otters. My name is Trevor Cabella. On this week's episode of the show, we sit down with Otters alternate captain Tristen Trevino, talk about his love of the game, how he got into the OHL, what it means to be an Otter, and what he likes to do away from the rink. Come along, let's have some fun. All right, here we are, another episode of Off the Record. Glad to have everybody with us here on the Gem City Sports Podcast Network presented by Revich Investments. And so glad to be joined by one of the new Otters coming into this season, a guy who's not too far down the road as well, Tristen Trevino. Trev, thanks so much for taking some time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely great to have Trev and Trev. I love to joke about that on the air. I know if you've tuned in to the broadcasts, that's certainly been a kind of a running bit at times this season. But of course, and when we're on the bus, every time I hear Trev, I look back, and it's never for me. It's always for this guy. So hilarious, I think, that we've kind of got the same nickname going.
Yeah. I definitely hear people call you a lot in turn, so it's.
So it happens both ways.
Yeah.
Okay, so it happens both ways. It's not just me, but no, I love it. I think it's fun, it's funny, and it's great to. I've never had somebody have the same nickname as me before, so it goes a long way for sure. I do really enjoy that element. So, and it's been great having you obviously here with the Erie Otters. So let's jump into your hockey career, obviously. Where'd you get going? Talk about growing up and just kind of falling in love with the game at a young age.
Yeah, I grew up around the game. My dad always coached, and he played when I was younger too. So I was always around it. I grew up in Michigan. Played since I was 4 years old. Since I can remember, I was playing, and I played AAA, a couple places, Little Caesars in Detroit, and then moved to Pittsburgh when I was 15. Played there for 3 years, and had a great time playing youth hockey.
Yeah, growing up in Michigan, obviously a pretty hockey-packed state, right? And obviously playing at Little Caesars, one of the more prestigious groups within the Detroit area. And, what is that like, right? The competitive nature of that, even at such a young age, growing up in such an area that is so hockey crazed.
Yeah, it's definitely fun. You'd go to school, and some days you play on a Wednesday, and you play a game after. Like, there's so many teams nearby. I think there was 7 other teams, really close to us. So it's good. I mean, the Red Wings are, I'm a big Red Wings fan. You have a lot of fans and passionate fans there, and hockey's definitely a big deal. So it's fun. It's a fun place to grow up.
Yeah, 100%. It's a great state. Always enjoy visiting up there, and I imagine even now in this league, being able to go up there and visit that, even though, of course, because those young years, right, a lot of formative memories within Michigan. Where'd you grow up in Michigan?
Like Birmingham.
Okay, yeah, familiar. Great.
Yeah.
There's a great pizza spot in Birmingham, Brooklyn Pizza.
It's
unbelievable.
great. Yeah, downtown. Yeah. I've been there a few times.
Really good spot. I have an aunt in Royal Oak, so I'm pretty familiar with like the Metro Detroit region.
Yeah.
So I always enjoy going to Detroit for see the Pirates on the road there. I'm a huge Pittsburgh sports guy, so always enjoy going to Detroit. Cool city, underrated city, great food city as well.
Great, yeah, 100%. When I moved to Pittsburgh, it was a tough adjustment. There's so much good food in Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan's a good spot. And yeah, again, being able to travel back there and maybe relive some of those memories playing in the OHL as well.
Yeah, I remember I was growing up playing youth hockey, and back when I lived in Michigan, and I'd go over catch a Firebirds game every once in a while, or when I was in Pittsburgh, playing U15, U16, I'd been to 2 Otters games, and I would have never thought I'd be an Erie Otter one day, but definitely it's fun to check those OHL spots out.
Yeah, 100%. That's pretty cool. I actually didn't know that you had attended an Otters game before. That's a rarity, because most guys obviously grow up around the Toronto area. Maybe they've seen the Otters on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Talking to Michael Deck, he mentioned seeing Connor McDavid play when he was younger. But to attend a game at the EIA, that's a pretty cool little nugget that you can have on all the other guys.
Yeah, definitely. It was, drove up one day and drove home. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Some guys, not that I play with, but some guys that I know were playing. It's pretty cool. Full circle moment, when I played my first game there.
Yeah, 100%. So obviously for you, kind of bouncing around the junior leagues, when did you kind of know you wanted to go the college route and stay within the U.S. to play your junior?
For a long time. I wasn't really a I was more of a late bloomer, so I knew that the extra time would be good. And college hockey, you play till you're 25, whatever. So just want to play as long as I can at the end of the day, and I thought that'd be the best for me. But yeah, I just played U18, and when I signed North American League, I never would have even thought if the best case scenario happened that I could play in the OHL was before the rule change. So obviously that was a huge thing in hockey and a huge thing for me. I would never be here without that. But yeah.
Talk to me about that rule change, and obviously coming over this season as opposed to last. I know a lot of guys jumping ship last season. How important was it for you to maybe stay put in one location? I know getting a handful of games in the USHL, playing in the NAL, and just kind of sticking there, and then going into the summer and then having the opportunity to make the jump.
Yeah, I mean, playing in the North American League was the best thing for me. And I remember that summer before, I wanted to play in the USHL. I wanted to, do all this stuff, and it didn't end up working out. I wasn't good enough, and I didn't know it, but that was the best thing for my career. And sometimes, you got to get cut and whatever. And played North American League, played a lot as the year went on, and I had great coaches there, and it all worked out. And this summer I got a call from Erie, and it was pretty awesome experience.
Talk to me about that phone call, knowing that you were going to have the opportunity to potentially go in the OHL. How easy or hard was that decision for you?
Yeah, so I was playing in the North American League finals during rookie camp, and I got invited to rookie camp, and it wasn't really a decision. I just was playing the final, so I just said I could make it, and I thought that was that, and then I was home sometime in June, and they offered me a contract, and I mean, the opportunity to play in the OHL in that league, it's special. I mean, the opportunity to play an hour and a half away from my house, see my family once a week, it's truly special, and being an Otter is, it's a dream come true, but actually being here, there's nothing quite like it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. And I love waking up, going to the rink, seeing the guys and everything, the facilities, staff. It's truly special, and I'm gonna cherish this year and hopefully next year for the rest of my life. It's special to be an Otter.
Yeah, it's been great having you here. And I remember when you signed, actually, I was in Florida on vacation. So it was right after league meetings. I'd been down on a trip, and I remember getting a text from Scott Grieve saying, all right, we're signing Tristen, Trevino, Robert Morris commit. Here's the stuff we need for release. And I'm like, I'm not going to have my computer for a little while, but then it was like, okay, well, we need to get this out. So thankfully Tim was with me and able to do it. So that was kind of a fascinating, unique one, because and again, if anybody out there wants to work in sports, right, that's part of the gig. And I remember that really, really vividly. And then obviously getting to meet you and everything and bring here it was a unique one for sure. But again, it's part of the ever-changing landscape, especially what it feels like has kind of become the Wild West of recruitment when it comes to guys that are going to be playing NCAA, but again, guys that are good enough to play in the OHL that have obviously thought about maybe going a different way. But again, I love that now that avenue exists for guys who again are good enough to be in the OHL and probably should be in the OHL, being able to get to the OHL.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It took me a while to make it to this league, and if you would have told me 2 years ago I'd be in this league, I wouldn't have believed you. Like I said, I was a bit of a late bloomer and just kind of stuck with it. Try to keep getting better, and it's awesome, the opportunity that allowed.
Yeah, 100%. And again, that work ethic and that goes a long way, right? And again, it kind of proves that hard work will get you somewhere, right? So, and that adjustment, what is that adjustment like going from, the NAL and just what that league is like versus coming to the OHL?
Yeah. It's a good league here. It's fast, skilled. It's, guys make plays and you got to bring it every night, and it's definitely an adjustment. And as a team, we have a lot of guys who had to make that adjustment, and I think we're getting there. Every day we're getting better, and it's tough. The North American League was awesome for me, playing against older guys, and it was heavy. It was physical, and we battled in practice. That was a big theme for us. We made each other better. It was the practices were harder than the game. So just the 9 months of development I had, not just games, but as a person, as a competitor, it was very, very helpful for me. But yeah, just getting here and getting experience playing with the guys, practices help, and it's definitely an adjustment this league.
Yeah, 100%. And again, it's a lot of guys that have been together for a long time and that kind of all come up together. What is it like kind of making that jump into this league and kind of adding that little bit of American flavor to what has been, again, more of a Canadian, Toronto-based league?
Yeah, we got some Americans. It's good. It's there's not too much of a difference, but some good conversations, American and Canadian youth hockey and World Juniors. I'm sure it'll be a fun thing to watch, and just that stuff. It's good. I mean, we have a lot of guys that live close. A lot of guys live in the area, so it's fun, definitely, like that, the banter with the guys.
Yeah, always a lot of fun, but it is kind of funny. It's very easy to tell who the Toronto guys are versus who's not, right? Because again, they know everybody in the league, and then you see guys taking photos with guys in warm-ups, and then you kind of understand who the college guys are, and it's funny to see how kind of it's a big family, but then there's a kind of little segments within it.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know too many guys in the league. I know of some guys, but it's rare that I'll, be friends with a guy on another team. We'll see, maybe I just don't know a lot of people, but definitely a lot of Canadians.
Yeah, 100%. So with that, is there somebody that you have come up with within this league that you do, know or work alongside, or is it kind of a little bit of unfamiliar territory for you? And then if it is, does that kind of help you? Because then you're just in here, look, I'm just going to do the best I can, prove myself, and help this team win games.
Yeah, more of an unfamiliar territory. One of my best buddies plays in the Q, so, I don't play against him, and a couple other buddies in different leagues, but I get trained with a lot of guys in this league. I wouldn't say they're my best friends, but we're friends, and it's definitely, it kind of keeps my mind on the game. I'm not worried about who I know because I don't really know many people. So it'd be nice to know someone, I guess. But no, when guys go home, I can see them, but typically not playing games. I don't see any of my buddies.
Yeah, you're just locked in, game in, game out. So talk to me about what it's been like to be, you mentioned how special it is to be an Otter. Walk me through, some of those first games and just getting adjusted to this league. And obviously you mentioned going to the EIA. What was that home opener moment like for you?
Man, yeah, I remember my first game. I was in the tunnel, and Keenan came up to me and said, this isn't the null anymore. And, it's kind of a joking way. And it's special to, you play every night, sold out stadium or sold out crowds, and a lot of energy. I mean, I think the EIA is one of the, if not the best rink to play in. It's loud, and I remember standing on the bench for our first home game, and during the anthem, you couldn't even finish the anthem. The crowd was going crazy, and it was just special. It was kind of a aha moment of it's awesome.
Kind of like what all the years of playing kind of lead up to, right?
Yeah.
And going from there, right? Because what are the crowds typically like in the North American League, and how does that kind of compare?
Yeah, we had a good crowd in Bismarck. It was just a lot smaller rink, and wasn't as loud, I guess, but I mean, it's a good place to play. It's a good spot. Some teams don't get anyone, but we had a solid crowd, really good for the league. But I mean, nothing compares to some of these huge barns. And
from the living adjustment, going from Bismarck, North Dakota to Erie, Pennsylvania, going from the capital to Erie. I mean, what is that like?
Yeah, capital's generous.
It is the capital of North Dakota.
It is the capital. Yeah, it's a good little spot. It's a junior hockey town, and one of my friends, younger than me, he texted me last year and asked me about Bismarck, if he should sign, and it's a good place. I'm very thankful for my time there. It's really cold. It gets negative.
Oh, I can imagine.
Negative 40 Fahrenheit and stuff during the winters, and it's cold, but it's a great spot, and they have a great staff over there. 2 coaches last year, still talk to him from time to time. It's definitely it's a good place to play.
I don't know if you could pay me to live in a place that gets negative 40 though, man. That whole I don't know. I complain about the cold here in Erie, let alone that.
It's been cold the past couple of days. I'll give that to you. It's tough for sure. You get used to it out there. So
Yeah, 100%. And I feel like that kind of fits in the grit of it all, right? That it builds character, right?
It does.
Builds character, and no, that's great. And again, you mentioned just kind of the jump to the OHL and some of the barns. Obviously, you've been in Kitchener, winning there, and you've been to London. You've been to a lot of the Windsor, not quite yet, but some of these big OHL rinks. Again, how does that compare and maybe again allow you to kind of elevate your game as you kind of play in front of more people and play in these big name, big market, junior markets?
Yeah, it's definitely an adjustment. And I remember talking to Kenny after our preseason game in London, and I didn't have a very good game, and I was just like, he was talking to me about it, and I was just thinking, like, I was a little just starstruck, like, that's a huge, like, it's an awesome place to play. You grow up, you hear about it, you've seen pictures, and it's truly it's an adjustment. But I think that just staying focused, and I've seen it a little bit more now. And like the odd on Tuesday was for Teddy Bear Toss was
cool.
It was bumping. It was awesome. So just settling in, and it's just hockey at the end of the day. Like, it's awesome experience, but I feel more comfortable and more like I've done it before now, which is good. But I've actually seen a game in Windsor, and that's a really cool barn.
Great barn.
Yeah.
Great barn. Always enjoy the Don't Stop Believing in the second intermission. It's always great. Turn out the lights, because it is South Detroit. It's basically like literally feels like just an extension of Detroit. I mean, the rink is out a little ways, but
since the Whalers went away, the Spitfires were the closest team to my house, actually.
That's true.
Even though you have to cross the border, but it's still really close, yeah.
It's right through the tunnel, and you're there.
Yeah.
And, yeah, from Birmingham, I guess the rink would probably be a little bit further, but
it depends on the border, but it shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
That was a cool play. And, again, a lot of Otters history there with the Memorial Cup in 2017. Do you get to go to that at all, or no?
I didn't. I don't have much memory of that. I remember watching the Memorial Cup on NHL Network with my dad, every year, and but I don't have memory of that, and we definitely didn't go, but it would have been awesome to go. Yeah,
that was again unfortunate tournament with the way it turned out for the Otters. I remember it well, but yeah, that was a fun year, and obviously again trying to bring those type of memories back here to Erie, and again on the ice. Walk me through your first goal and what that moment was like for you. And now you've got a couple to your name, including one we're going to talk about in Sudbury in just a bit.
Yeah, I don't know. The one against Guelph, my first one, it was pretty special because my mom and my grandpa was there, and my little brother. It was awesome just to have them there, and we got 2 points, and I wouldn't say that was like a turning point in our year, but we've been picking it up lately, and it's been moving in the right direction, and that was a game we won, which is good. It always makes it a lot better when you get the win, and it was a special night because my support system, my family was there, and it was awesome.
Yeah, that was a cool night, cool game, cool win, of course, over Guelph, and that is a really good point though, as like that weekend of Guelph and then Barrie, Owen Sound didn't go so well on that trip, but from there. You look at the points, you look at the numbers, going in the right direction.
Yeah.
I didn't really think of that, but that's a pretty spot on statement, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I know that we talk about it a lot in the room, and I tell everyone, but our group it's a special group of guys, and it's really really tight locker room, and if we can just stick with it like we have. Like we're only going to keep getting better, and we got some new guys to the league there with Justin, but I think that's our biggest strength is how tight we are and how close of a group we are, and I think we've really figured that out together and been moving in the right direction.
Yeah, 100%. And again, teams that win are the ones that are close, right? Ken Paroff talks about that all the time with the battalion team that he was on that went to the final and unfortunately lost to Windsor, but that team was super close, and you definitely kind of get that feeling within your group that obviously there are somewhat segments within it, but at the end of the day, like everybody is so close. Like, yes, there are young guys and older guys, but like the link between them is incredibly strong.
Yeah, I agree. And since I've come in, and the older guys have really, I feel like, set that culture, and that's something that I think is really important going forward. And with this group is like that culture and the standard that they set. So really appreciative of those older guys when, I didn't really have my my feet under me here and didn't know what this place is about. And now that I understand and get it, it's special. It's a special place to be.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously, being a part of that and continuing to grow that tradition and grow that. And for you wearing an A, walk me through, the emotions with getting a letter. And obviously for a guy who's only been here a couple months, it says a lot about your character and your leadership and talk me through that role and what that's meant to you.
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot that the guys, voted me for that. And I just try to lead by example, and I try to keep it pretty positive. We have some vocal guys, some vocal leaders in there, so I try not to say too much or do too much. But no, it's awesome. It's an honor for sure. And we have a really good group of leaders, and not just guys who wear letters, but a lot of guys who do things the right way and lead by example and stuff like that.
Absolutely. And again, some young guys taking that leadership role as well. I wanted to ask you as well, obviously committed to Robert Morris. Walk me through that commitment process and, what it means to go there, staying pretty close to home, a rink that I've become pretty familiar with when I played high school hockey out of Erie here. Played at that rink all the time.
Really? Yeah, there's a few, 3 or 4 high schools that are home. That's our home rink. So yeah. No, it's special. I mean, RMU is 20 minutes away from my house.
Okay.
The rink's only 10, and it's awesome. It's I committed right after the rule changed. College hockey landscape shifted a lot, and I was really happy that have an opportunity to play Division I hockey, and it's good. I went to the game in Mercyhurst, and I committed about a little over a year ago, and my dad actually took a job there 3 or 4 months ago. So we'll see. A lot happens in hockey, but it'd be a pretty cool opportunity, and it's awesome. My dad being there, it'd be it's a cool opportunity.
That's pretty sweet. And again, being so close to home always means a lot, and always again the opportunity again to come back here to Erie and play Mercyhurst every year too is going to be pretty awesome. I imagine hopefully we'll see out at the EIA, and again hopefully that's a couple of years down the road, and you'll be wearing the navy and gold for a little bit longer. Again, not quite sure what the future is. So strange because of just the fluidity of the rule, right? And just there is an opportunity to come back if you so choose, right?
I mean, I hope so. I would love that opportunity, obviously. And Robert Morris has 17 guys who are going to be rising seniors, so it's an older group. It'll be an older group next year. I mean, so yeah. I mean, there's not much in the world I'd rather do than be an Otter for another year. So it's special, and hopefully it all works out. And it's a long time away, and just worried about this year and stuff like that. But if I was asked, to be a no-brainer.
Absolutely. And I imagine there's a lot of people watching this that would probably be happy to hear that news. Yeah. So it's certainly been a lot of fun. And let's jump away from the rink a little bit. What do you like to do maybe in the summer times or any time you have away from the EIA? Yeah,
I work at the hockey rink, so I don't get away from the rink that much. But,
always at the rink.
Yeah, exactly. No, me and my buddies, we like to hang out when we're home. They play junior hockey too, so I don't see them much. We talk a lot, but we'll just we'll hang out when we're home, watch all the playoff games. We'll just go shoot pucks, listen to music, and kind of hang out. Yeah, not too much. Just get some food, hang out. Not too much of a hobby person. I like to watch, movies. Me, my dad, my brother, and my mom at night. We'll just sit on the couch, watch movies. I'm not a golfer, not much. I just, in summer, work out, skate, go to work, and
just
relax.
hockey.
Yeah, something like
Love
that.
It. That's great. Do you ever? I have to ask this as probably the world's biggest Pirates fan. Do you ever make it to PNC at all over the summer? Or not
I
really?
did. I watched one game at PNC, and I
Okay.
watched the Pirates play in Detroit as well.
Yeah.
So I've seen 2 Tigers games here and 2 Pirates games, 1-1.
Okay.
Yeah. Tigers actually lost all the games I went to, so it might be bad luck, but
Pirates do typically play pretty well against the Tigers.
Yeah.
They're technically their natural rival in the American League, so they play them every year, a home and home series. So yeah, I've done the series in Detroit a couple of years, again with family up there. But yeah, that's always kind of a fun little unique matchup. And I always have kind of a soft spot for the Tigers because obviously the Erie Seawolves.
Yeah.
Seeing a lot of those guys come up through there. So.
yeah, it's definitely cool. And like, I mean, I'm not the biggest Tigers fan in the world, but like I know of, the prospects and some guys, and it's cool. I went to a couple games. It's like, wow, like it's it's crazy. It's really cool that the Seawolves are here in Erie.
And it can obviously be interesting sometimes sharing the facility, but at the same time, like having that high level in there, I imagine there's probably not a ton of interaction, but when there is, like, I imagine there's a lot you guys can almost learn from each other.
Yeah, there's not too much interaction, not too much overlap, but I mean, there's definitely like a lot of respect for those guys. And baseball's it's hard,
It's a grind.
It's a grind. So it's cool, and they're typically a little older than us, but no, they're really nice and good to us, and try to be good to them and respectful and stuff like that.
Absolutely. The other point I wanted to touch on as well is you guys had an appearance at Gliding Stars a couple of weeks ago, and you had asked if this was something you could potentially continue. Would you maybe be interested in able to open up and kind of why that hit so close to home for you?
Yeah, so I actually didn't make it. We had a sponsor dinner last Monday, but yeah, I'm gonna help with that on Mondays at Mercyhurst, and it's a special thing to me. My brother is he's 7 years old. He has autism, and it's pretty special to be able to help out and just be a part of that, and it's awesome. I've really enjoyed my time there. It's not something I have to do. It's something I get to do, and it's really cool, and I hope I can continue to do that and be a part of that, the Gliding Stars.
That's really cool. And again, an unbelievable organization. They do great work with us, and seeing them out at the game a couple of weeks ago during the intermission was really cool. But yeah, that really stuck out, and I think, again, goes back into why you're wearing an A. It's stuff like that, right? That goes a long way in terms of, it's at the end of the day, you're here to play hockey, but that impact in the community, it goes a long way.
Yeah, it's a special community here, and the Gliding Stars has been great, and it's awesome, really good environment. If you're looking for that, and maybe my brother will come up and be a part of it.
That would be cool.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. So it's really good that I get to be a part of that, and I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool and again, you're at the rink.
That's right.
Guy lives at the rink. If you, it sounds like to me, if you give Tristen Trevino any time on the ice, you're going to take it.
Yeah, I can't imagine myself ever being done with hockey or not being a part of hockey when I'm old, and it's what I love, and I don't know, just obsessed with hockey. Yeah.
So does that mean, like, when you're all said and done, and again, obviously that's going to probably be a long time from now, but when that is the case, coaching maybe a path that you'd be interested in going down?
Yeah, my dad, he's a coach, so I mean, it'd be fun to do that, and yeah, I don't see myself ever stepping away completely and not going to the rink every day. Honestly, like, it's my life and stuff. It's something what I love to do. So, maybe coaching, maybe it's, who knows, with how the world is, but everything happens for a reason, and I know it'll all work out.
Absolutely. That's again, an interesting path to go down. And obviously, we've got some great mentors with Ken Paroff and Chris Millette, a couple of guys that played your position at a high level. What's it been like working with those guys on a daily basis?
Yeah, it's awesome. Mally's been great. It's really, really, refreshing and nice. You come to the rink, and the whole staff and everyone, it gets done the right way, and and I've been around hockey a while. It's awesome, and they're unbelievable people and coaches and everything, and they've done so much for me and my career, and I can't thank them enough.
Absolutely. It's been, again, a lot of fun seeing what you guys have done as a D-Corps. Talk to me about, working with these guys at Garrett Fraser, who's had a somewhat similar path to you, and obviously Yulia Sari, who has the voice of an angel, as we heard on the bus the other day, and just some of the other young guys, Lucas Ambrosio, who's going to play in the Connor McDavid Top Prospects game.
That's awesome, yeah.
And, these guys, and obviously even some of the youngsters, a guy like Nick Frasca who comes in.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a special group of guys away from like hockey aside, special group of guys, and I mean Ambrose so deserving of that opportunity. That's awesome for him, and Nick stepped in and become a part of the group really quickly. It's tough to come into a group halfway through the year. Whenever he did and mesh, and he really did. He's an awesome guy. He's done well too. He's played eight-ish, I don't know how many games, but he's been in the lineup. He's been, like all of us, we're just getting better every day and getting better every game, and it's awesome. Yeah, sorry, I've been playing with him a little bit, and it's fun to play with. I mean, I could, I think I've taken a bunch of shifts with all the defensemen, and it's a really good environment back there. Like we don't point the finger. Guys just try and help each other, and there's no like jealousy or anything like that, and it's really good to be in a D-Corps that's close and they support each other like that. It's awesome.
Yeah, it really is cool to see, and again, what you guys have been able to do in terms of growing together, and what this team's been able to do in terms of growing together. And the last thing I always end with this question, looking ahead for this group, obviously here we are in mid-December now, which only a handful of games away from the Christmas break. Where can this team go? What are some goals for yourself and for this club as you guys move forward?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, like to have, I guess, one thing. I mean, we just want to win we want to win every game, obviously, but it's we go every night trying to get 2 points, and I mean, definitely, obviously, the playoffs, like trying to make playoffs, trying to be the best team we can be, and or we're moving in the right direction for that stuff. But I mean, that's more of a, we got to focus more on the process and not the outcome. So our process has been good. It's been getting better, and it's led to better outcomes for us. And that's just something we got to stay focused on, is one game at a time. And the points matter by the end of the year. So one game could be huge.
Certainly so. Trev, it's been a pleasure, man. Thanks so much for taking some time.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. That'll do it for another edition of Off the Record. Reminder, you can find us anywhere you get your podcast. Just search OTT The Record. For our guest, Tristen Trevino, my name is Trevor Cabea. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you again on another episode of Off the Record.